What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to Imagine Earth. This is going to be episode number 2 in which we play the second planet. I don't remember what it's called, but this game is made by Serious Brothers. If you like the game so far, be sure to check down in the description. I've got all the information so that you can get involved with the crowdfunding and all of that fun stuff so that you can watch it develop, throw your 2 cents into the ring, and make sure that your ideas get implemented. Maybe. Kind of. Sort of. Let's go to campaign, and down here at the bottom, we will say that we are on Joma right now. I've never played this mission before, so this is going to be blind for me. That's right, you're probably saying right now, you screwed up the tutorial that badly playing it not blind? I'm like, yep, only the best in ineptitude here at the Nerd Castle. Let's go to our mission. This planet is called Joma. It provides enough resources for at least 1 million people. Build up a profitable colony with cities, farms, power plants, and industrial areas. Set up a colony with 1 million people. Okay, let's go for it. And I'm wondering if this one's just going to be like free play. Hi, Berg. Welcome to Imagine Earth Ltd. I'm Joe, the head of the expansion department. Of course, I'm too busy to care about odds and ends. Just build up a base with all the stuff. You heard the man. Let's get to work. I don't want to tell the old chief, but the large investment credits for this expedition put the company under pressure. We have to make more profits to satisfy the claims of our creditors. Okay. Well, what is this right here? Therefore, we also have very small seed capital for the colony. Additional funding must be generated on planet. Fortunately, Joma is rich in precious metals like gold. We have to place the first city center next to such gold deposits. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and zoom out. And I'm going to find all my money bags first because I want to make sure that I've got at least enough gold to swim through like Scrooge McDuck. And up until that point, I don't feel comfortable. What is this? Are those ruins? Well, they are. It's like ruins of some sort. I wonder if they're haunted, and if you build on top of them, like the entire universe collapses in on you. It likes to flag certain locations to start out in. I think I'm going to save this area for later, and I'm going to go with what they're recommending and maybe put in the city next to the gold mines that they like. So we've purchased our city center, and it really wants me to place right here. So you know what? I'm going to be a massive conformist, and I'm just going to go along with that because if there's one thing I've learned about video games, it's that if you wrestle with the tutorial, bad things tend to happen. And so having built our city center, we earn ourselves one of our lovely little tokens. And what does that mean? Why is that? Energy requirements. Oh, okay, it's just flashing. These are notifications over here that it's telling me the things that I need in order to make my life more fruitful. So obviously we need farmland, so let's go for that first. Actually, no, we need power first. Let's go ahead and get rid of this forest because we also need cash. And do we mine the... Oh, you mine the gold out. Okay, so let's start mining the gold out of both of these locations. And once we've gotten ourselves some lovely flaky, delicious gold, we can increase our pile because we're orcs here at the Nerd Castle. I don't know if you guys like Warhammer 40k, but orcs, it's all about increasing the size of your pile. I mean, the bigger the size of your pile is, the happier you are as an orc, the better you are as an orc. It actually physically makes you a better person to have a bigger pile of stuff. And so we're just going to see if we can accrue a bigger pile right now. So having bulldozed our first forest, if you stop cutting down trees before all the trees are gone, they will regrow and can be farmed again in the future. Yeah, I know. It'll be fine. I'm trying to make space for things. We'll actually relocate all these trees into these areas over here because I don't think we're going to need it right now. So let's get started on that. We'll get rid of those trees right there. These trees I'm going to leave for right now, but we are going to get rid of all of these rock deposits because being a geologist, that's what I do best. Let's go ahead and get our rock hammers all ready to go. We'll annihilate all this stuff. Did I cancel that one right there? I can't even tell if anything's happening anymore. Okay, good. So things are happening how I want them to, which is the best way for things to happen. I'm going to build a energy production plant right here. So there's our coal plant. And so that should be in momentarily. The next thing that we want to build is a farm, but we don't have a token. There it is. So let's build our farm so that we can grow space weed or whatever it is that we consume here. I don't know. Space hemp. Spemp. There we go. So now that our spemp plants are growing, we want to keep a careful eye on our space miasma as well to make sure that nothing even worse happens as we play through. These are still coming along down here. We got ourselves 4,000 gold from right there. And I think it's time... Maybe, oh, we need goods factories as well. Okay, so we've got farmland right there. That's going to be negatively impacted by anything that we build around this area. So let's get rid of that forest too. And basically what I'm going to try and do is we'll keep farming and electricity over here. Yeah, I think that'll work out okay. And then we'll try and keep goods production down here along this area. just sort of out of the way. Now, getting rid of all these forests is going to make our people slightly grumpy when we deploy all of our residential areas because they want to be able to smell trees and pretend like we're not annihilating the planet. But you know what? There will be there's no plausible deniability on this planet. They need to be aware of what they're doing. Why? Why are you destroying me? I'm the lovely planet Joma, and I'm speaking to you. I think I'm going to... What is this saying? Coal power generally shouldn't be next to cities or farms. Yeah, I know that. And an industrial farm produces best when it's on fertile soil. Okay, so we've got that handled. And what I think I would like to do, we are still lacking in goodies. So let's get rid of this last little rock pile right here. J-Rock style. J-Rock in the rock pile for all of you out there who are super into Trailer Park Boys. I am. It's one of my favorite television shows ever. Hands down. And so once we get rid of these rocks right here, unfortunately we didn't get a cast bonus or anything from it, but we'll drop our factory in place, sort of out of the way so that we can build at least a couple layers of city centers before we're forced into the odd situation of having to relocate certain aspects of our city. That's now deployed. A beautiful small colony, isn't it, Berg? Just too beautiful, and that's why it's time to make a metropolis out of this hick town. Yeah. So as soon as this drops, let me speed up the game. If you look at the top right corner, you've got the date, you've got your environmental impact, you've also got the amount of citizens who are living here. So just things to be aware of as you're playing through the game. And so now is going to be the time that either A, we want to start dropping a few more energy production locations in place. There it is. And then we'll spend a little bit more money dropping one more industrial farm over here. Unfortunately, we're going to lose a little bit of efficiency due to the fact that it's touching tips with this one right here. But it can't really be helped with how everything's functioning. I suppose we could have put it right there, huh? Oh, well. Didn't notice it until too late. I like the shadowing effects. If you take a look at the way the game is graphically represented, I really do like the fact that it's apparent that you're part of a solar system and that you are rotating about a center sun. And I like the way that the light creeps across different halves of the planet. Very, very cool. Very lovely to look at. Let's go ahead and start dropping some of our city districts. And so there's one right there. We want to have 3 adjacent before we do anything else. That's what you're going to need minimum in order to expand everything out. And so now we're into the negative. Still out of money. Just chop down some of the trees. And we're actually not going to do that right now. We're going to wait for tax funds to come in because as of right now, we're in the negative. But we can generate capital from our people right here. So as we get more and more... We have research technologies to raise the efficiency in dealing with the growing demand for resources in your city. You can apply unlocked upgrades to increase the productivity of a building. Open the tool ring by left-clicking the building. Upgrades will also raise the general advancement of your society and will enable even more research funds and new developments. Okay, and so I'm starting to think that plausibly we may actually have to decimate some of these forests right here. And it's all good. We can replant them later on. But as of right now, we are losing money like crazy. So let's wipe these out. I mean, we are in the black now. We are making our money back. So a brief dip into the red is not so bad, so long as you come out the other end. There's a little bit of extra money to get us started. Let's take a look at some of these research technologies that they're talking about. We're developing new technologies that help you produce enough resources for your colony. The next development should be ready when you reach 300,000 people. So if we click right here, we can take robots, which are going to allow us to produce way more. It costs us more electricity and it hurts the environment more, and it also costs us more money. Simultaneously, though, we get way more product out. Okay, well, what does it do if we go to farms? Automation. We lose a little bit of electricity. We lose a little bit of money. We hurt the planet slightly, but we get more food out. And I know what this is going to be bad. It's going to be like we belch fumes into the sky and just annihilate everything. Oh, district heating. Okay, so you actually only lose a little bit of money right there. It looks like we're getting 10 per tick right now, so we can assume that this is going to drop us down to 7 per tick if we purchase it. Yeah, let's go for it, for the +5 power and to keep us from having to build more of these. So there it is. Oh, it costs you 3,500 on top of that. So that's a little bit of an investment. However, it is going to save us. If we can keep it down to like these 2 coal plants during the duration of our playthrough, I think it's going to work out better for us. And so there it is. We've got ourselves... Yep, and I was right. So, and actually, and to keep an eye on how much money you're making, you just quickly do the math up here in the top left corner, what you're making per unit. Cash bonus for 5 upgrades if we decide to drop them into place. Okay, well, I don't have any coins to buy any more upgrades right now, so I suppose we'll just sit on it for the moment. I don't think it would be... Well, we're a little bit low on goods right now. So let's drop a new goods factory out here. It's going to hurt the environment a little bit, but we've got a little bit of extra leeway, I think. So with that 3,000, that's going to get us back up. It's going to lower our power consumption a little bit. But we do need to get a third municipal area adjacent. Unfortunately, that's going to be next to a factory. It's kind of one of the downsides of everything being built out of triangles, is sometimes you really can't get things into the places that you want them to be without them being adjacent to something just really terrible. Maybe we'll put the next city center. Oh, we're actually in the negative right now. That's bad. So let's go ahead and drop a new city district right there. That's going to put us right along the edge, but it should give us enough taxpayers to bounce back slightly. It'll also allow us to expand our center district, which will give us a few more citizens as a bonus, and then we'll increase the amount of money that we're gathering, because that is kind of the point of this entire endeavor. So let's speed it up for a little bit and see if we ever make it back into the black. And so there it is. We've actually balanced out, but not by a whole lot. We're actually only making about 3 monies per tick, which is bad. Our environmental impact is still chilling at 0%. And so now what we want to do is just kind of hang out. Let's look at some of these tooltips right here. Forests grow bigger and more dense when they are surrounded by wood, then they compensate more carbon dioxide and increase potential logging income. Okay. What does this do right here? That's what I'm really interested in, is what can we like channel, like can I sacrifice citizens on the altar right here to gain like absolute benefits from the blood god corn? I mean, I think that that would be what I would want to do with that altar. Already noticed how you can, yeah, I already know that I can do that. Okay. That's fine. Well, then I suppose we'll just hang out for a little bit and see if we can make a tiny little bit of money over the course of the next couple of days. Can I mine this out yet? Not until it's in our sphere of influence. So maybe the next city I'll deploy will be out here somewhere so that we can get access to this super awesome gold deposit. Or this island is actually looking reasonably empty as well, and that'll get us access to 2 of these gold deposits if we drop it in right here. So maybe I'll keep that in mind for later. We don't have enough cash to do just about anything right now. We need 5,000 to expand the city. Gives us plus 100,000. Not really interested in wiping out any more forests because, frankly, we're kind of teetering on the edge right now anyways. And so I'm just going to allow the game to fast forward for a minute until we have enough to expand our city center, which should then enable us to get a second city. And from there, we're not going to necessarily have a ton of money to expand with, but it should allow us to at least gain access to these 2 new gold mines, which I've got my eye on right this second. I like how the music speeds up when you speed up the game. It's kind of nice. Makes you feel, it's actually kind of an auditory reminder of what you've been doing. So if you find out that things are kind of overlapping you too quickly and too many things are happening, at that point you're like, oh, it's because I've left the game on fast. I like it when there's extra cues to remind me that I've left the game on fast forward, because I tend to do that in a lot of the city builder games that I play, and it almost unanimously backfires on me. I mean, everything bursts into flames. You've got, I mean, we have to rebuild the entire city out of asbestos because there's nothing left to build with. It's bad. So let's go ahead and expand our city center right there. That is going to negatively affect both our power consumption. It's going to negatively affect a lot of aspects of our city, but it will allow us to grow a little bit further, and it'll give us access to a new city, I think. And so, what's this? Navigation, last message, game menu, navigation. Okay, so there's like fun little buttons you can click to get back to where you want to go. Good news, everyone. The lab guys have developed and optimized gas turbine power plants for the geographic conditions on Joma. Due to lower exhaust emissions, they are an interesting alternative for coal power plants. Hey, we need more energy. I don't know who that was. That was just like the ghosts out. I suppose they've started a chant of we need more energy, and it's gotten so loud that I can hear it from outer space now. Maybe that's what's happened. Well, if we've got this new brand of power plant, let's take a look and see what it does. The gas plant here, you need a development coin, which we don't have. Well, I wish that I had a development coin. Where's my development coin at? Development coin, where are you? Lovely, delicious development coin. Alright, well. Oh, we get our next that's how you decide how you get more development coins. Okay, so you get more development coins as you get more people. So we need 50,000 more people. We actually didn't make it right here. So in order to make this work, let's go ahead and dip in. I'm gonna need a coal plant right here. I'm gonna need a new farm to pick up the slack on food. This farm isn't gonna be very efficient. That one's gonna be a 20 because it's adjacent to another farm. Got a 24 right there, so we may as well go for the optimal situation since you get so much more out of it. You're getting like a 20% increase off of the initial 20 that you get from any farmland anyways. Okay, so now we're in a little bit better of a situation. Let's go ahead and build our next area for people to live in, so our next residential center. And so there it is right there. I'm gonna try and build along the coast because that's always, like, you always see that in cities. Every city, I live in the Bay Area though, so maybe that's just the way it works here, but I think that's pretty much all across the world. You open yourself up to so many other trade opportunities. So every city I've ever seen just expands along a coast somewhere. So there's our next research coin. We get another one for 100,000 people, and so I may actually just continue thusly, dropping another city district right there, and we'll kind of deal with the consequences once it gets there. And so let's wait here for a second and see where that leaves us with regards to both electricity and with regards to our food supply and our commodities that we're going to be selling. So you get 50,000 for each one of these that you drop in. Based on what we lost right there, I think I can do one more. So let's do that. There it is. We'll drop one more into place, and that should about break us. I think we're going to be negative on goods, but everything else should be absolutely awesome. So aside from our lack of goodies, we should be able to land ourselves on the second. There it is. Hey, Berg, it's time to place a second city center. There's another continent on Joma to be conquered and crowded. Yep, and you've personally allowed it. Conquered, crowded, and personally allowed it. Let's go ahead and jump onto this continent. I'm going to try and drop a secondary city center somewhere where I can get at both of these gold mines. So there's a gold mine there, and there's a couple of rock piles off in the corner. I'm gonna drop it, I think, right there. And then we'll just kind of deal with it as we go along. Ah, precious artifacts. Plunder the temple because progress has a price. The cultural heritage of the site upholds traditions and identity to Yoma's people. Oh yes, it raises the life quality of cities nearby noticeably. Attention, a building has been damaged. Double click the symbol below. There it is. So what's been damaged? Alright, so let's go ahead and run through and do our repairs. And having fixed the walls, which have been chewed on, kicked, and otherwise destroyed, we are facing a deficit on goods right now for the planet. But we are about to do kind of massive expansion over here. So we've got a desert, which is basically wasted space anyways. Let's go ahead and drop in a... Let's try out that new power plant, actually. Gas power plants emit less pollutants and greenhouse gases than other fossil fuel power plants. Because gas is relatively easy to transport, this type of power plant is less dependent on fossil deposits. Okay, well, what does it produce? 15? So it's not quite as good as the other ones, but it doesn't actually produce as much emissions, and it doesn't require fossil deposits in order to be completely 100% efficient. I understand. Let's go and clear those rocks out, and I'll put 2 of them next to there. Kind of clear all these areas out. How much do you get for plundering the artifacts? 16,000. God, that is a lot. Since we already have one down here, we may as well go with a coal plant. I'm going to bulldoze all of these rocks because we've got plenty of money to do so right now. So let's clear out all of the rocks that we can, including the neighboring gold mines. There we go. And so there is a whole lot of plinking going on as numerous villagers from the Yomas people decide to jump around, get on their feet and jump around and actually do hard manual labor in order to supply my personal coffers so that we can expand the city a little bit further. And so we'll just chill over here for a little bit and gather up all of the cash that's dropping from these various localities. This also has the added benefit of clearing out extra space so that we can build buildings and actually kind of get ourselves back into the green area that we need to be. We're hurting the planet a little bit. And so the ways that I would suggest remedying that are gonna be, we can't build forests. Well, damn. I was hoping we could build some forests in order to fix that up, but it doesn't look like we're gonna be able to. We have, do we have an excess research coin right now? So we can use district heating to make this work out. We're making like 50 We're making all kinds of money at the end of each second, so we might as well slow this back down. Alright, and so what can we do with this? A steam turbine. Waste heat recovery steam turbine. The exhaust gases from the power plants have a high temperature and can be used to produce additional energy from the steam. Well, that's kind of nice. Okay. So I want to take a... Let's pan through and look at what the other discounts are that we've missed out. Obviously, from here, you probably get more food out. What are the upgrades for here? Energy saving. So the heat insulation in the renovation of older houses builds passive houses with very low energy demand to reduce the city's hunger for electricity. Interestingly enough, I wonder if I could have gone with that to even out the footprint that we're creating right now. Too late to know now, but looking for a swell spot to build a factory in case you're wondering, so that we can get some goods. We also need some eats around here. It doesn't look like there's a lot of food for us to enjoy. Let's go ahead and figure out where the best locations are going to be over here for food. Let's go ahead and put an industrial farm right there on fertile ground. We'll do the same thing right here. That's not going to use up 40, I don't think. That would be really mind-blowing if we managed to use up 40. And then over on this side in some of the desert areas, we'll start factory production. So there it is. That should work out for now. This is going to hurt the planet negatively, though, and I don't think as of right now that I've got any way to balance it out. We're unfortunately just going to have to like live with the cost of the ecosystem that we're creating for ourselves, kind of lay in the bed that we're making. So I think what I'd like to do now is let's expand our city center. Just making little residential districts all over the place. I think we're probably going to go negative on power right here. But we should well be able to get the next research coin by then. And so we get a freebie research coin. I'm going to use the research coin to do energy saving. And we'll just pay for that on as many of these little guys as we can. And hopefully that'll fix our power problem, maybe. What do you guys think? I think that that'll fix it up. I definitely... Oh, there's a gold mine over there that I missed out on. Well, how lame. Greenhouse gases are increasing in the atmosphere. This has a large impact on global warming. Okay, well, obviously enough. That's not something that we want to have happen. However, let me see what I can do with these power upgrades, and we'll see if we can get rid of some of these factories to make the planet a little bit more hospitable and less likely to give us terrible, terrible respiratory diseases. So we've upgraded most of the locations. Let's upgrade over here. And then maybe we've got plus 11. What is this producing right now? 23. We can't necessarily get rid of that right now. These factories are producing like 30 goods each. So they're doing 22 minus that. Okay. So they're actually producing... Well, it's a minus 8 right there. But it's in trade for 30 units. Okay, so that makes sense. So now that that's high enough, we're actually pretty well even on some of the things that we're doing right here. We've got ourselves another research coin, and we only need 2,000 more citizens in order to get the next one. So we have robots over here. Now this is definitely going to hurt us, but this allows us to produce more. Considering each location hurts the environment by a minus 16... That'll put it to a minus 20. But we should get a net gain by going a plus 10 right here, and then we could get rid of one of our other factories. So let's do robots, and we're going to automate all of our production right here. And once we've automated the production from our factories, and we are trusting robots right now. Hopefully we don't end up with some weird Asimovian situation where they go haywire on us and start destroying us. But that gives us a plus 40. And then I think what I'm going to do from there is let's fold up one of these factories. And so in folding that one up, that gave us a little bit more power, and we should be hurting the environment less now too. So that allowed us to be a little bit more efficient with our production. Okay, and so now we're at a minus... Okay, so we're at 6% impact right now. I think I'm going to break the episode off right here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Imagine Earth. I look forward to seeing you all in the continuation of this episode. Take care out there, everybody, and hi-do.